Hello, my name is Dr. William Schumann from Appalachian State University in North Carolina, and I am giving a presentation on the Black Mountain College semester, Relearning Experimentation in Arts and Culture Education. So Black Mountain College semester project, or BMCS, was an interdisciplinary teaching and publishing education project implemented in 2018 at Appalachian State University in North Carolina, USA. It was based on the democratic education model of Black Mountain College, and Black Mountain College semester was made up of public lectures, workshops, exhibits, web-based content, film screenings, publications, and special courses. Despite the rural character of the project area, BMCS reached a total of 35,804 people. This paper offers an overview briefly of Black Mountain College, followed by a discussion of the project design and the analysis of two project case studies. Broadly, I'm interested in analyzing the process of co-creating methods of experiential learning on and beyond a university campus. Project assessment data is utilized to contextualize the responses to BMCS and discuss future directions for this project. Now, Black Mountain College operated between 1933 and 1957 in Buncombe County, North Carolina, and is widely regarded as an experiment in educational democracy. For faculty, this meant challenging many of the era's assumptions about higher education. For example, the rector or college leader was elected, as was the governing board of fellows, which came from the faculty ranks. And for students, it meant being exposed to a wide range of academic perspectives and embracing diverse viewpoints and experiences in a physical space that encouraged individual and collective experimentation, but also responsibility down to working to maintain the grounds and the running of the college itself. BMC was hardly a utopia, but intellectual growth and social responsibility were deemed inseparable components of student learning. And here we see the location in North Carolina and focused on a specific area there. Now, the arts held a central role in the curriculum and were the means of instilling in the community the shared values of creativity, independence, discipline, and emotional maturity. A litany of faculty, students, and scholars have made significant contributions from Black Mountain College to the visual arts, writing, theater, music, dance, design, and beyond. Timing of this was important too. The world had seen the First World War and was on the brink of the Second. America was in the midst of a Great Depression economically and spiritually. Many of the people who came to Black Mountain because they had nowhere else to go, they became academic renegades and refugees, such as Joseph and Annie Albers from Germany. And so they were among many who were looking for a place to settle and quietly contemplate and execute their work. The mountains provided a refuge far enough from the mainstream to see the world in new ways and artistic practice in new ways, but also close enough that their insights were connected with other audiences and artists beyond the North Carolina mountains. Ultimately, Black Mountain College's unique model could not be sustained economically or structurally, however. Despite the many talents of its alumni, very few actually completed degrees, and by 1957, the college closed its doors forever, though not without nurturing the future of many creative disciplines. So now to talk about creating the BMCS, the Black Mountain College semester, which started in 2017 among discussions of faculty and curators at Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina, about revisiting the college's educational model in new ways. At this point, the history and significance of the college had already been explored through numerous exhibitions, publications, and events, many of these even occurring in the 21st century. So we sought to introduce a different approach by treating the legacy as an opportunity for practicing experimental democratic education for students and the general public. Conceptually, this meant exploring the role of place in the history of Black Mountain College. Whereas most scholarship and art criticism had ignored the mountain context of the college, BMCS would explore these continuities. And ultimately, this resulted in a multi-sided 12-month project that linked the university to 3 galleries in Western North Carolina, including the Shenandoah Valley Museum in Black Mountain, as well as public schools and other institutions through a variety of applications. The interdisciplinary nature of this project team was the strength in many regards. The core investigative team represented the fields of anthropology, art history, curriculum and design, documentary arts, literature, library science, education, and museum curation and studies. Contributing faculty and collaborators include a representative from art, dance, folklore, design, school education, geometry, history, museum practice, and sustainable development. And several aspects of the project invited community participation and hands-on interaction, including exhibitions, museum displays, public lectures, visual artists, and a geodesic dome modeling or workshop project that was run all over Western North Carolina. Appalachian State was also well suited to this project. Only 90 minutes drive from Black Mountain, the university's Special Collection Archives was home to the papers of Black Mountain College founder John Rice, among other resources. Using the archives as an anchor, the web development project was designed to link the various BMCS projects together and provide a ready educational resource for the university and public schools to integrate BMCS activities into their curricula. The website would combine archival data with original interviews, digital assets, and teacher lessons plans to examine BMC, or Black Mountain College, through the lens of historical change and in the context of both North Carolina and the United States. As well as providing exhibition and public participation opportunities, BMCS project leaders sought to integrate learning about the college directly into university courses. While the core project team would develop a common timeline narrative, BMCS fellows would simultaneously contribute to this content and thereby shape the scope and direction of one of the project's core resources. Faculty were selected according to their overlap of proposals of teaching with the timeline subject areas and how projects or proposals contributed to an understanding of place in the history of Black Mountain College. We utilized multimedia strategies to invite broad uses at applications and align the project with course teaching objectives that were already existed. Ultimately, 7 faculty were selected for this project and performed a variety of teaching activities, including an experimental ethnography course that rehearsed and performed composer Eric Satie's absurdist play, The Ruse of Medusa, which was translated from the French by M.C. Richard and performed at Black Mountain College in 1948. Perhaps on the other end of the spectrum, curriculum design and instruction courses created virtual spaces of interaction around important figures in the history of Black Mountain College. A third class used principles of Buckminster Fuller to reimagine the uses of campus space at Appalachian State and submit their plans to our Office of Sustainability. Another landmark event at Black Mountain College was the Happening in 1952, which was the brainchild of John Cage and Merce Cunningham. And it was unsynchronized, featuring dance, music performance, theater, speeches, and poetry around the college dining hall. This cacophonous design would greatly influence the future work in avant-garde art. With Black Mountain College semester already underway in 2018, some faculty and project collaborators decided to add a new happening or a re-happening to the BMCS event schedule for April in the Turchin Center for Visual Arts. This involved collaborations from professors across colleges and schools, including theater and dance, the School of Music, the Department of English, as well as technical design backgrounds. When analyzing Black Mountain College semester, we could say it was very successful by many measures. The volume of visitors topping nearly 36,000 and the distribution, over 1/3 of visitors, for example, occurred at our partnering institutions, meant that high turnout relative to the local population and a wide distribution of events across Western North Carolina locations. Many attendees also expressed improved knowledge or wider knowledge of Black Mountain College and its significance based on pre and post survey data. In fact, we saw a 20-point jump in people's understanding as some or a great deal of knowledge based on that. When we look at this from a scholarly perspective, as I look to start closing this up, one analysis of interdisciplinary programs in higher ed finds that interdisciplinary projects fall into two broad categories. They're either oriented to discrete problem solving or to the development of a shared vocabulary of interaction and research, a language of practice, if you will. The value of the latter lies in an inherent flexibility of participants to jointly define operational concepts and goals, and therefore create frameworks that can be productive for participants. This was very much, I believe, the model that we saw from the Black Mountain College semester. This meant, for example, different competencies for curatorial, publishing, curriculum design, and project management elements, but in a way in which each individual was empowered to find how they ultimately sought to connect projects to the larger whole and goals of this Black Mountain College semester. While successful, we also faced challenges and limitations. One outcome discussed by project leaders was the potential development of an interdisciplinary program or academic field of study in Black Mountain College studies. However, this was not ultimately manifested. One way to understand that, at least indirectly, is the challenge of transitioning a project structure, or that language of practice, into a curricular form. But more than faculty will, interdisciplinary research and learning is also shown to be most successful on institutional structures, such as dedicated centers and departments that can channel and reward these types of practices. As we sort of think about the larger implications of this, we know that Black Mountain College is exalted as a fount of modernism that's somehow abstracted from urban locales of American modernity, but also not part of the Appalachian South. And so Black Mountain College semester has turned this misconception on its head by examining the college and the Appalachian Mountains as key sites in America's journey to a more inclusive and sustainable society. Black Mountain College doesn't offer an unspoiled model of cross-cultural integration or interdisciplinary collaboration. However, BMCS came at an important juncture in statewide and national discussions about issues that are as irrelevant today as they were then, and poignantly, BMC was a creative model of an inclusive present and future, and the Black Mountain College semester offered an experimental extension of that ideal for the 21st century that may yet influence other learning models. Finally, as you see my image credits here, I would like to say thank you for viewing this presentation. Goodbye.